How? How could this happen? Who did this? Who could do this?
A murder has taken place, and since this place is abandoned, one of you kids must have done it. You will have an hour to look for clues, and then trial time. So, get going. I will contact the others in a moment.
Do you know who did this, Magnazone?
Incorrect. I was only notified by Leafeon to come here after Darkrai's vitals were gone. Here's a signature to prove it.
Something seems wrong about that paper, but that is his signature.
Now get going.
So, you tell me that the bait is planted?
Hook, line, and sinker. Now we need to get to that resort so that we can arrest that person.
Don't need to tell me twice. If that asshole's gonna try and own my daughter, they're gonna get my wrath.
Be careful out there, sweetie.
I'll be back before you know, honey. Now then, Leafeon, let's roll.
Welcome to the trial. One of you killed Darkrai, and we're going to find out why. So here's how it will go. It will be your job to determine the guilty one, and if you're wrong, you will be arrested for perjury. So a testimony will be given by each of you, and it's the other's job to find a contradiction or lie.
I have a question, officer. Do you recognize the similarity between this murder and the other murders at Aquarius?
Negative, young lady. I was only informed of this incident, not the others at the old place. Now then, I will start off with the autopsy. Both individuals had blood from their mouths, but died from their stabs piercing their organs.
That's wrong.
Come again?
Let's take a look at the bodies again. If you look closely at the bodies, you can see that they were stabbed on their sides. The organs are usually in the middle of our bodies. Sure, you'd still bleed on those sides, but no organ damage.
That wound could easily be repaired in comparison to a stab to an organ. Plus, if that was the case, where's the pool of blood? It wasn't there when we looked at the bodies.
Okay, I'll take a look again. Luxray is correct. Their organs weren't stabbed, so allow me to update the autopsy.
There is another issue I noticed. Darkrai has various forms of magic and can teleport. Even if he was asleep, he could easily tell if someone was breaking into his house that's trying to murder him and deal with it quickly. But yeah, Darkrai and his wife still died. I don't think he died of internal bleeding or stabbing. But maybe it was something internal. Oh, right! The cameras! We can use that to find out who murdered them.
I just checked the camera room on my way back. All the screens were destroyed and no tape to be found.
Are you kidding me? We just did a challenge in there, and when we left, the rooms were unharmed.
Exactly. What gives?
Wait, what's happened to your right eye, Dale Fox?
Long story.
Okay, I have a question. Magnazone, do you know when they were murdered?
Negative. I arrived after they died.
Okay. I asked that because when I did my investigation with Leafeon, we observed the body and they felt very clammy and cold. They also looked more pale.
Well, that's dead bodies for you.
Except it doesn't happen that fast. If they were murdered, say, an hour ago, their body heat would still be normal for a bit before it decreases. That's usually how it goes. Same goes for the clamminess. That occurs much later in the decomposition process.
So what are you getting at, Lucario?
I think they were poisoned.
Hell, Levani and I found a bottle of poison in one of the locked rooms.
Hold up. If the murders happened recently, then why was the bottle in your room?
Well, it did have a shitload of dust on it. I can vouch for that, by the way. Alright, let's take a look. This is correct. This bottle is dated for 2028, so it's at least 2 decades old. And wait, it says that if heated, it can act as a numbing agent.
But even if that's true, how come Darkrai or Cresselia were able to detect it in their system? Maybe the killer brought it from home. Huh? When Butterfree and I were locked in that room, we came across 2 books. One that contained orders, and one that contained all the employees up to the final month. And you know what I mean, like listed, not actually in the book, because that's friggin' stupid. In the orders book, not one order was for chemicals. Hell, this resort doesn't even have a chemical lab, nor chemicals to make a poison, let alone one that could damage the senses. See?
Alright, let's take a look. She is correct. I looked through the entire book. No orders for chemicals were issued, so the potion must have been handmade. Wait, what about the pool? It clearly needed chlorine.
I thought about that too, but it's in the book. Just under a different name. They ordered an environmentally friendly form of chlorine that doesn't contain any toxic chemicals in its makeup.
Alright, I remember Susan Majile passed that bylaw against toxic chemicals after the Titans attack near the covered-up planet in radiation. After that, the bylaw forced all cleaning products to be environmentally friendly.
Wait a second. If that was the case, then what the hell's in this poison?
Well, Lucario, while cleaning products were affected, other chemical products were not, due to the half-life period in said chemicals. So it is still possible the killer made the poison from home and brought it here.
Then what's the deal with the bottle, then?
Let's look back at the date, 2028, 50 years after the Jonestown incident. The resort was shut down on the same day as the Jonestown incident, just not the same year, November 18th. What am I getting at? I think the bottle was a part in why Aquarius, whatever, was shut down. Think about it. If Lucario found it in one of the locked rooms, and the bottle was dated for 2028, then there's no way he could have killed Darkrai. Plus, according to his theory, backed up with the clamminess and cold texture, the 2 hosts were poisoned and died from it. Add that to the multiple corpses we found in the last few weeks, and I think we can all agree that the reason Aquarius was shut down was due to a series of murders.
Okay, so we know why Aquarius was shut down, but we still do not know who killed the 2 hosts. That's what we're trying to get at. If anything, Illumies, you just made yourself look like the killer with your knowledge of chemicals and the fact that, you led us completely off track.
I did think of that conclusion, but here's the problem. I was locked in that room for 6 hours. Why didn't I try to escape? And the reason why I didn't try to escape? Because I was waiting for Butterfree to wake up since we were both locked in the same room. And while I was asleep for that time, I can vouch that Illumise was in the same room as me, and the door was still locked. And unlike other doors, this one was locked on the outside, making it almost impossible for Illumise to kill Darkrai and relock the door. Samurott and I also had our door locked on the outside. We ultimately had to use our strength to bust it down too. Oh, yes, you 2 recently evolved. Neat. As for me, I was drugged, and I have the needle and Delphox to bust it out to prove it, so I couldn't have left the room either.
And since I was in the same room as her, I can vouch for my innocence as well.
Wait, you 2 in the same room? Yes, but he removed that drug from my system and helped me get out of that room.
Yep.
Well then, Luxray and I were also locked in, plus we did find the body, so we couldn't have done it. Same for me, though I busted it down after I slithered out.
Levani and I were also locked in, but we busted it down. Someone is lying then, because if not, then someone else would have killed them, and you're the only ones on this island.
Well, there's one way to find out. Back in the challenge, I noticed one sector filled with locked rooms. That's most likely where we all ended up in. If we check that sector and we find all 6 doors busted open, then we're right. If not, then we found our killer.
Then let's go and look.
Let's hear.
I don't believe it. All 6 doors were forced open, and they could only be locked on the outside. Are you kidding me? No, it can't be possible. There has to be more to this. Let's analyze the method that the poison could have been taken if that was true. Did Darkrai drink anything beforehand?
Yes, the courier and I found 2 cups of coffee in the sink, but on the rims they were burn marked where their lips would be.
Christ. No, that sounds impossible. Was there anything else he could have drank?
We did find his container of coffee beans. Well, there we go. The killer could have dumped the poison into the coffee beans and then bam! Poison Primo Lovato.
No, that wouldn't have worked. If it was like that, they would have spotted it immediately. Remember, that poison the courier mentioned only numbs the senses when heated / vaporized.
Well, shit. Howson has a point. But hold up. What if the poison was put into the water used to make the coffee? Definitely possible, but then why have the burns on the rims? Wait. What if the rims of the cups had poison on them?
They would have spotted it immediately.
Not if they couldn't smell / see it. Not all poisons are purple. Hemlock and aconite are both poisons, but the colors are vastly different. On top of that, we also have transparent, poisonous chemicals like mercury that can't as easily be spotted. Plus, combined with other chemicals, it could easily be turned into a solid / dust on the cup that has no smell to it. Then, once ingested, combined with the hot drink, it can be vaporized and thus poisoned to death on the inside. That's actually possible now that I think about it. Flygon recently busted a group who were trying to use poisons that were invisible to smell and taste. We don't have a name for it, but as of now, there are 10 variants of it, and one of the compatible chemicals is mercury. The way the chemical works, according to the police, is that once ingested, it disables all your senses, then it quickly eats away at your system until death. And according to them, the first time someone was busted with this was 2027.
Wait, that was a year before this bottle was made.
And in that bust, the victim shared similar symptoms as the ones described on that bottle. Lucario, was the bottle you picked up filled with any color?
What? No, this bottle is empty. It has nothing in it. Incorrect. My sensors indicated transparent fluid in the jar. Wait. That means this could have been poison.
And based on that, we may either have a copycat killer, or the killer from 18 years ago is on the resort. So to sum up, the killer went into the room while Darkrai and Cresselia were either hosting the challenge and or asleep, put the poison on the rim of their cups, waited until they died, and put the rims to remove, or burned the rims to remove any DNA proof linking them to the crime.
But if that's true, then who did it? Only you guys are on the island. I detected that.
Wait, what if the person who did it looks like one of us?
Based on my book, that might be correct. After all, an employee would know the ins and outs of this place, and if they were a janitor / manager, they would be able to lock and or unlock every door in this place.
Alright, I'll look at the book. Well then, there was a janitor / manager working here.
Are there any names that sound similar to us?
Yes. A male luxury.
What?
He worked at the restaurant.
Liar. Read the title properly.
Ugh. He worked as a member of management.
Magnezone, I think it's time you give it up.
Beg your pardon, young lady.
You just made one critical mistake by hiding that piece of information. Until Butterfree called you out, that is. On top of that, I looked at your order from Leafeon when you showed it earlier, and guess what? And I noticed Leafeon's handwriting was false. I saw her handwriting in the business pitch challenge, and it looked vastly different than this one. But there's a difference between seeing it and showing it to the rest, so... Hell, my dad and Leafeon are decent friends, and help each other every now and again, so I actually have an autograph from the winner herself to verify my claim. So, everyone, huddle around, and here it is. As you can see, this is Leafeon's legitimate signature. She actually gave it to me when, well, her show basically celebrated its 10th anniversary. So, that's where I got the signature from. It's a really good signature, too. And this is the forged one, aka the one that Magnezone showed us. Doesn't match up now, does it? And why is it red? Well, I don't know that myself, frankly. So, Magnezone, what do you have to say about that?
Well, she is pretty old. Her handwriting might have changed.
Uh-huh. Oh, and, one more thing? Leafeon retired from her job 2 years ago. She has no authority over the show anymore. You weren't sent on official orders, were you?
No, you're wrong. One of you is the killer.
Magnezone, everything you have said thus far has been wrong. Your autopsy report, the job title of that Luxray, this signature, etc. Your story isn't adding up one bit. Plus, if that Luxray was part of management, he would be able to unlock the doors and relock them without anyone noticing anything strange.
I think it's time you reveal the truth, Magnezone. What was your true purpose for coming here? "18 years ago, Aquarius was meant to be the resort that tried to strengthen the bond between nature and technology. But instead, that day, it became a place of horror and destruction. You want the truth? Well, here you go. On November 18th, 2028, 500 men, women, children, and all the employees died. My wife and child were also killed. And what makes it worse for me is that I had a chance to bring that person who did this to justice. To bring that killer to justice. But he got the jump on me. He nearly killed me. I was forced to cover it up, or else he would kill the police force that was on that island as well. So after I was forced to accept, I told him that it was a rat infestation. And the truth was that Luxray used that poison to kill everyone on that island."
Wait, that would explain why all the windows were busted.
Yes, once it got into the air, everyone got infected. And now, that Luxray was the one who locked you all up and killed those hosts.
Pathetic little runt! You just couldn't hide it anymore, could ya, you piece of trash? So yeah, I did it. I killed those two hosts, and I killed those people all those years ago.
You son of a bitch!
Oh look, if it isn't that abomination. But don't worry, you won't speak for much longer. You're all under the effects of my lightning blast. It's slowly working its way into your systems as we speak. Soon it will reach your organs, and then, no more contestants!
Why? Why are you doing this?
To awaken the true emotions in all of us. Despair,
I want your anger, your hatred. It's what makes us all who we are. That civilized nature is a facade. We're all blood-hungry creatures. If we want, then why is it so easy for one little push to shove us over the edge? Like finding out your father raped and killed your mother, or killing a jackal and his wife just because you gave them a false DNA test. Or my personal favorite, killing a wife after killing her husband, and then ripping out the egg as the prize. What was the name again? Oh, right. Del Fox. You killed my real parents! Not just that, I also killed Lucario and his brother's real parents. You already know that waste of sperm story, so I won't repeat it. Frankly, it should have been a Dragonite to show much how much of a waste he is, like his mother. As for you, Ninetales, I also injected your father with the same drug as you. Now, why am I telling you all this? So that I can bear witness to your anger and your hatred just before you die. And like Dragonite's rape, I will get away with it.
Is that so?
What? Impossible! I killed you both!
Oh, I won't spoil the surprise just yet! We have some guests coming!
Oh, and don't even think about retreating. I got psychic.
So, looks right. We finally found you. Despite how much rage I have against you, I'm excited to bring you down.
Indeed. Now, as for Darkrai and Cresselia being alive, we had Darkrai do a little spell on himself and his wife. He made duplicates, and we used them as bait to lure you out into the public once again. After all, most criminals usually return to the scene of the crime after a while, and now, here we are. So now it's time for you to serve for your crimes, and now that you admitted it, you're screwed. Yep, after all these years, it's time you get what you deserve.
Well, if it isn't that little bitch.
Yes, it is. Oh, and I overheard what you said about our son earlier, and guess what? Even if he did grow up to be a Dragonite, I wouldn't view him as a failure. He's still my pride and joy regardless of the line he took. You know why? Because he is my son at the end of the day, and I love him. So enjoy rotting in prison, because when you die, Darkrai's world has a nice pitchfork with your ass's name on it.
So with that said, we can ask for the slammer.
Affirmative.
Thank you very much for your help. Now, I'll take it from here. Wait, we don't get a chance to say goodbye to our kids? Actually, that sounds like a good idea. And anyone else whose parents didn't show up, we'll get a chance to talk to them. Thank you, Magic. I think you guys need some positivity after what happened, so yeah, go on and do that. In this case, Illumise, Livani, Luxray, do your thing. If you always lead here. What was heavy shit. Okay, so now that everyone has talked to their parents and said their goodbyes, I think it's time we discuss something. What happened today was something I never wanted any of you to experience. I never planned for you to get drugged or hurt. I merely wanted to drag out the killer. It is with a heavy heart that I sincerely apologize for what happened today. That is something no one should have to experience. So what we have decided to do is put all our challenges on hold for a week until everything returns to normal. The resort is currently being repaired now that the mystery has been solved, all the dead bodies are being removed, and rooms are being cleaned up. So you guys will get a week off from doing anything game related, then once the week is over, we'll come back and finish the game. Indeed. You guys went through hell, but you guys also succeeded. You solved the mystery. So enjoy the week off. It's the absolute least we can do for you guys. It's done. It's finally done. And I'm so relieved. 18 years. After 18 years, he finally got what was coming to him. And it feels so good. Like a giant weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Thank you.
Today was an eye-opener for me. But now that I have put that in the past, now I can work on being a better person. Which is why I told Del Fox that until his eye was fully healed, I would help him whenever he needed it. Not because I have to, but because I want to pay him back for what I did to him. At last, I finally evolved into my final stage. But on top of my new body and mind, I think I also formed a stronger friendship with Clefable after today. Now, gameplay-wise, maybe she won't be helpful, but at least now I have a stronger bond with someone. Well, besides Superior, of course. And I will try to do my best so that we both make it pretty far. Now that I'm in my final stage, I can feel this incredible strength coursing through me. And I love it. So now I have an opportunity to kick ass in this game, and with Samra by my side, I know we can kick some ass. Oh, and by the way, what's this thing at the bottom of the screen?
And with that, Mega Luxray has finally been arrested.
Now that the mystery has been solved, will the merge happen soon? When new friendships/relationships will occur?
Find out next time on Total Pokemon Resort!